Hey everyone, welcome back to TowerGate. It is day 76. Well, this is one of those days, as I told you, that we might have occasionally where there just isn't very much going on. So it's going to be a short video today. Just a couple things I'll mention though. Today the oxygen pretty much sucked out of the room by two stories. Of course, still the aftermath of the Seth Rich revelations that he in fact did communicate quite a bit with WikiLeaks. That story is still getting a lot of play today, still getting talked about a lot on talk radio. So the Seth Rich thing is still has some life left in it, and hopefully that will continue, and maybe one day we'll get the truth. And that would be the end of the Russian narrative, believe me, because I do believe Seth Rich was the leaker. But anyway, that's getting a lot of play today. And of course, the thing that really sucked all the oxygen out of the air today was the fact that unfortunately some weak-kneed Republicans have sided with the Democrats and agreed to have signed on to the idea of a special prosecutor. So the assistant FBI director, currently the acting FBI director, I guess McCabe, has named Robert Mueller to be a special independent prosecutor to look into the Russia-Trump collusion. So nothing will, of course, come out of that, but hopefully this will put it to bed once and for all, and we can be rid of that. And then, of course, if we can just get the truth about who actually leaked those documents to WikiLeaks, which we believe it was Seth Rich, that'll take care of the Russian narrative. And then the only thing remaining is the spying and the surveillance on Trump by Obama, his administration officials, with James Comey as the gatekeeper, Brennan and Clapper doing their part, right along with everyone else. And so that's what we focus on mostly here on TowerGate. There is a story that I'm going to post a link for you from the Daily Mail, which does some, they do some pretty good stuff on Daily Mail. There's a lot of, it's kind of a mishmash of stuff you get on Daily Mail. It does like some pop culture type Hollywood stories and this and that, but they also do political stories, and they do have some good people there, journalist-wise. I mean, they have some good people there. I believe actually Pierce Morgan is actually, I think, with the Daily Mail now back to their. He used to be with sort of a news magazine in the UK, and then he had a show here on, I guess, CNN, and then he went back to the UK, and now he's back doing that. Or actually, he may be in the US. I don't know where he's actually based at, but I know it's a UK publication that he's working for now. But anyway, I'm going to post a story there where where he mentions in this particular story that after the day after Donald Trump sent out the tweet that he was being spied on by the Obama administration, apparently James Comey told a couple of his colleagues that Trump was crazy. Trump was crazy. That's extraordinary, because at the time Comey had to know that Trump certainly was under surveillance, along with many other people. So James Comey, he's a strange individual, and hopefully as more comes out, we'll learn a lot more about the gatekeeper James Comey and what he's been up to. He's a very interesting character. So anyhow, I'm going to provide the link for you. It's actually a pretty good story. You can read it. There's some more stuff in there too. And we also got today the funny story out of American Spectator about James Comey, that allegedly James Comey had gone to meet President Trump, and they were going to go have dinner. And I think this was on Valentine's Day, February 14th. And apparently Melania had called, and they called Trump away to go have this phone conversation with Melania. And as Trump stepped away, apparently the cameras were still rolling, watching James Comey. I guess he didn't realize he was on camera. And apparently he blew his nose on some curtains in the White House. So that's pretty funny. And so now there's actually somebody, I don't know if it's Republican or Democrat, I assume a Republican, that wants to look into that, have a full investigation of whether or not James Comey blew his nose on a curtain in the White House while waiting to have a conversation or something with Donald Trump, and that this could be obstruction something of damage of government property or something. Can you picture James Comey? You know, James Comey's like 6'8". You know, it's just kind of hard to hide it for James Comey. If you're going to blow your nose, it just seems strange he would blow his nose on a curtain in the White House. It's kind of nasty, actually. But that story appeared in the American Spectator today, and that's pretty funny. They have good journalists there. I mean, it's not like The Onion or anything. So anyway, just a funny story that came up. But as we're looking at the hearings, which most of us who tune into these videos and all my research is I focus mainly on TowerGate and the surveillance of Trump, mainly because that's what these videos are about, but also because if you try to cover this wide political spectrum of every single thing that's going on, you can't really hone in on one thing, and unless you've got hours and hours and hours just to sit around and study every issue that's happening every day, which I don't. So I focus all my energy, almost 90% of my energy, all my research energy really, onto the surveillance issue, trying to keep up with when hearings are going to be coming up and who's testifying in hearings and what people are doing behind the scenes, because there's a lot of things that simply are not big enough news stories to make it into any of the major newspapers or to make it on any of the major blogs or anything like that. So I really just try to keep my focus very sharp on the surveillance and what's happening. And so I was doing some research last night, just trying to figure out when we can expect the hearings, because about 2 weeks ago I did a video and I had pulled a story from somewhere, I can't remember now, when they were talking about all these people that they had scheduled to come in and appear before the Senate and the House regarding these hearings on surveillance and Trump and Russia and all this stuff. And they've got all these people scheduled supposedly to come in and talk and be interviewed and be questioned and all this kind of stuff. But it just seems like, things just drag and drag and drag. That's why I said it could take a long time to get to the bottom of this, because they drag things out for so long. And, it's like, if I was holding this investigation, it seems to me I was, okay, this is the investigation we're doing. Here's the people we need. Let's get them in here. Let's have these hearings. But, I think that in Congress, I think they, they work maybe a couple hours a week, and the rest of the time they're out raising money, playing golf, going to cocktail parties. I just don't think they work very hard in Washington, because if I was the head of either of those committees, I would have lined out the dozens or 100 witnesses or whatever it is. I'd have written their names down. I would have sent them subpoenas or contacted them, scheduled them, and I would be on these hearings. I would be getting these hearings going. And, but they're going to drag them out and drag them out and drag them out, which is a very good way to get people to forget about it. They'll hope that maybe a year from now, people who were upset about the surveillance on Trump will have forgotten about it, because many other things will have happened, and they'll be more worried about going on vacation and baseball and all these other basketball and all these other things that people get distracted with. But I can assure you folks, I will not be distracted. I will continue to research anything that might be happening on the TowerGate issue every day. I do these videos 7 days a week, because sometimes they like to slip things in on a Friday night or a Saturday morning. And in fact, some of our best videos as far as discovering new information has happened on Friday nights and Saturday mornings. Seems to be a gold mine for when things like to emerge, because they know that the papers and the news business knows that most people on the weekends don't pay that much attention, and that's when they let the good stuff that's really important, that's when they slip it into the back page somewhere on a Friday night or Saturday morning. So they won't get that by me, believe me. I have quite a few different sources that I check in with every day who are following the surveillance story very closely. So we'll continue to follow it. They're going to have days like today where there's just not much going on. There may be weeks going by where there just isn't very much going on. But again, as I've stated before, because this is not like most other investigations, because in this case you don't have the president and the Congress working to put this thing to bed or quiet it down or make it go away, because in this particular case the president himself was the target of the surveillance. I don't think Trump is going to let it go away. And of course we have Rand Paul, who has formally announced that he has sent the legal papers to the administration, he wants to know if his name was queried, and he said, I guess day before yesterday in the video I did, that another senator has come to him and said, yeah, I think I was surveilled too. I was told by some people that I was. So, Rand Paul wants to get to the bottom of this. I think Trump wants to get to the bottom of this. I think some of these other things have to play out, but they will eventually go away. The Russia hacking our elections, or the Trump-Russia collusion, these things are going to fade away as they're proven to be, pretty much not based on any facts, and so they'll go away. But the hearings on the surveillance and that type of thing, I think, while it may get drug out and slowed down, and it may be kind of a grinding process, I think we will eventually see something happen, and it's just a matter of being patient. But we'll keep watching it every day. Again, I appreciate y'all subscribing to my channel, tuning in and watching the videos. Thank you for leaving comments in the comments section, and I look forward to being back with you tomorrow, and we'll see if anything happens in the next 24 hours. So y'all take care, have a good night. Bye.